Okay.
Mr Speaker, I'm very pleased to speak in this general debate. I want to speak about not only National's economic plan, but the situation that we were handed in 2008 and how we've turned it around. I want to contrast that to the Labour opposition, who is in absolute crisis. We saw that today in that they couldn't even bear listening to David Shearer, or Ian Shearer. He couldn't even get the name right of one of our most senior ministers. Mr Speaker, under this government, we have turned a situation round where inflation was running at 5.1%, exports had flattened out completely, government expenditure was out of control, back office bureaucracy was booming, the Treasury books showed never-ending deficits, and we're now in a situation where we've seen steady increases in average after-tax wages. We can see inflation is lower, mortgages at $200,000 are half of what they used to be. We've seen a creation of jobs. We've done this because we actually have an economic plan on this side of the House. We've got a plan around labour market reform. We've got a plan around innovation infrastructure, the Advanced Technology Institute. We've got a plan around affordable housing. We've got a plan around investment in broadband, $1.5 billion. This side of the House has a plan, and we contrast that to the economic policy of the Labour Party, which I think can best be described as emergency management. Stop, drop and roll. Now let's have a little look at that. So what their plan is, let's stop a whole lot of things that National are doing, and let's just name a few things. We'll stop greater intensification and development of the agricultural sector. We'll stop the 90-day trial period. They'll stop the 3,000 jobs for the Hobbit movies. They'll stop public sector reform, and they'll drop a whole lot of policies that they campaigned on in 2011. We saw this in Shearer's foreign ownership bill. We saw that pulled. We saw the confused position around Kapiti Expressway. So we've got the stop and the drop. And what's the final part of their economic plan? It's called roll. And anyone who has been in Copperfields lately can see that the Labour Party is completely divided. The rumour has the numbers are 19 to Grant, 15 to David. What does that mean, folks? It means that Rajan Prasad and Raymond Woe, if you're listening, you are the kingmakers. And we can see today when the opposition can't even be bothered to listen to David Shearer's speech, when Grant has just popped by New York to see Helen, and when we have clauses being inserted by random members of the Labour Party to buy the union votes, there is a serious situation. You contrast that to a government that has serious economic policies, both in terms of innovation, capital markets, infrastructure reform and investment, to a party that is divided and that is, in my view, about to undertake the final part of their economic policy of stop, drop and roll. Mr Speaker, there's a clear choice for New Zealanders. You've got a party that has turned things around from a dire situation of spiralling debt, a lack of investment in infrastructure, to a party that is in complete disarray, that wants to put up smokes and mirrors because it doesn't have any economic policy. There's a clear choice for New Zealanders. Mr Speaker, I'm very proud to be a member of the National Party.
A point of order, the Honourable Phil Heatley.
Speaker, I seek leave to clarify the answer provided on my behalf to question number 10 today.
Is the member seeking leave to correct an answer?
Yes.
Leave is sought for that course of action. Is there any objection? There is no objection. The Honourable Phil Heatley.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. During an answer provided to the House